Alright, so after you've made your rough cuts and you want to finish up with the styrene piece, you can use files, you can glue it, you can paint. You'll obviously want to finish up all the edges first before you glue and paint. Like I said, you can use any number of files as long as they're kind of fine-toothed or small-toothed files. You can use any type of glue. The zap-a-gap is the glue I tend to use the most when trying to work with styrene. Gluing any plastic together, you definitely want to sand the both sides of the pieces that are going to join together. So a little bit on the styrene, a little bit on the shell, or another piece of styrene. Apply a little bit of the zap-a-gap, and then just touch those two together, and it should form a nice bond. So with this piece here, I'll just kind of do a quick demonstration of going around curves. Just show you how you can do this fairly quickly. Like I said, this is a soft plastic, so you can work with this really quickly, which is nice. But again, also because it is soft, you just have to make sure that you don't go so fast that you aren't paying attention and somehow, ruin the lines, or go, just kind of ruin the piece that you're doing. So you would just work like this with any other piece. Definitely check both sides just to make sure that you've got it right. Sometimes the filings can kind of stick to the edges. So I tend to use the flat file to just kind of clean up all the rough cut pieces out of the way, and then I come in with the rounded files to just really clean it up and make those edges or those curves really smooth. Alright, here are just some quick examples of styrene that I have used in my shell modifications. Easiest one are covering the gaps in a minimized knife finder, which makes the blaster look pretty clean, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to paint those. On this one only, I have also taken off the rail and covered the top just so that it is looks cleaner. In both of these examples, the styrene was cut down the middle so that the shells can still be removed. Another pistol that I've done is the lock and load. On these lock and loads, the bottom nub has been cut off and covered with styrene and painted black, and on the top I've taken off the fins and covered with styrene. Still need to paint these black, but also again in both cases the styrene was cut down the middle so that you can remove the shells. Another one that I've done is on my Raider. As you can see, there is styrene covering this gap, and I decided just to put a little decoration in there which says pop, which is not pip, but that's covering that, and then on the bottom, just to here as well, some styrene to cover that gap. Another one that I had done more extensive work on was this long shot. This long shot has styrene. Let's see. It's got styrene on the top, which is right here where the round piece for the top rail used to be. That was removed and covered with styrene. And then a little further up where the top rail used to attach, here in the front, also covered with styrene. On the bottom, this front gun has a piece that was normally in here that kind of stuck out. Removed that, and then I bent the styrene to cover this area, and also right behind the clip was another kind of round piece, and that was removed and covered with styrene. On the stock of the gun, here it was kind of just removed to just add to kind of give it a little bit of a different shape, but this wall is styrene, 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 and again cut down the middle so that it could all be removed. So those are just some quick examples. The one that people probably know the most is on my Doomsayer. The Batman symbol and the Superman symbol are both made out of styrene. In order to try to attach to this curved shape, I used a heat gun, and I sandwiched the styrene between two pieces of cardboard in a curved angle, and then just heated that up, and that way it gave it a little bit more of a curve so that it attached to the shell a little bit more nicely, and obviously painted, and it's held up pretty well so far. Anyway, so that is a quick overview of how I use styrene and how I work with styrene. I hope it's given you guys some good information. If you ever want to use it in your projects, if you have questions or have any comments, leave them below or message me. Like I said, it's easy stuff. It's nice to work with. Just be careful when cutting. Use your head. And see you guys later. Thanks a lot.